Hello, and welcome to day 2 of Parkinsons52, week 16. Did you watch that dramatic YouTube video of the PWP on the treadmill? If not, I encourage you to go back to the tweet I sent and take a look at it. It's worth your time. What we see there is a dramatic improvement in the person's gait after the music started. This is always amazing to me. But it's a typical occurrence when PWPs are exposed to neurologic music therapy, or NMT. Did you also notice that she stated that her gait improvement lasted all day following her workout on the treadmill? This is also amazing, but very typical. Even though my personal gait symptoms are rather minor, I've observed similar effects. I want to deviate just for a moment and give you a little bit of background, and if you'll just stick with me, I'll get to what NMT and exercise has done for me. I first want to tell you how I became involved in this subject. It's been my experience in my life that when good things happen to us, it's usually because someone else took an interest in us or cared about us enough to take some action. It may have been a family member, or a good friend, or a complete stranger. But after all, isn't that what our mission in life should be, helping others? This slide serves a dual purpose of thanking some key people and also telling the story of how I became aware of neurologic music therapy. It all started for me with this little article in the summer 2015 edition of the Southwest Parkinson News out of the Barra Institute and the Muhammad Ali Center in Phoenix, Arizona. This article led eventually to Dr. Michael Taut and I having an online acquaintance. The title of the article was Moved by Music. A number of the statements in the article really grabbed my attention, and here's a few that are good examples. I'll let you read this for yourself. This article is still one of the best I know of for the layperson in explaining what NMT can do for a PWP. I moved over to this side of the room so that you could see my picture of my great-great-grandfather, Aldridge Jackson. He was born in 1799 and died in 1887, so his life spanned almost the entirety of the 19th century. I also want to recommend to those of you who would like to learn more about NMT, Dr. Michael Taut's excellent book on the subject. This is the official definition of NMT from his book. To put it in simpler terms, NMT is helping people with neurological disorders live better through the application of music in one form or another. There are different categories of NMT, but the specific application that we saw working with the PWP on the treadmill in the video is called rhythmic auditory stimulation, or RAS. RAS works because of something we call entrainment. Here are a couple of definitions of those two terms. I also developed a couple of imperfect metaphors to illustrate the concept of entrainment. These are intended for the layperson like myself to help us better understand the concept of entrainment. I also use these little step diagrams to illustrate how your movement can be in sync with the music and your motor signals thereby lock on to the auditory signals coming from the rhythm in the music. The motor signals hitch a ride, so to speak, with the auditory signals. That's enough technical information for today, and maybe you're saying enough forever. Tomorrow we'll talk a bit about neuroplasticity and how exercise enters into the picture as a partner with NMT. But before we go, I promised I would show you some results of what NMT and exercise have done for me. First, 3.5 months after I began my music and exercise program in 2015, I was able to reduce my daily levodopa dosage by 40%. A huge reduction, as you PWPs will recognize. I was a happy camper. and a big side benefit was that my dyskinesia was reduced markedly. In addition, my arm swing improved significantly and my posture improved. We'll talk tomorrow about why this happened and the role of exercise. In the meantime, spread the word. There are things that a PWP can do for himself or herself. You don't have to be content with only taking your pills and waiting for it to get worse. This is especially important for newly diagnosed PWPs. I would like very much for our visits this week to be two-way. If you have questions for me, tweet them to me or send me a Facebook message. I'll respond as soon as I can. If I can't answer your question directly, I may be able to point you to someone who can. Until tomorrow, don't forget our motto. See you then.